So, good evening, students. Today we are starting with the chapter Quadratic Equations. So, Quadratic Equations is not a new chapter for you. In class 10th also you have learned this chapter. So, we will continue that. There is some relation between class 10th and 11th. We will see that. Okay, let's proceed. So, we know that ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Where a not equal to 0 is a quadratic equation, right? So we know that if alpha comma beta are roots of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. If alpha beta are the roots of this, then we know that alpha plus beta is what? Minus b by a, and alpha into beta is what? C by a. Right, this you know from your 10th class. We will see also what is the meaning of roots. It will be a revision for you. And how we got these minus b by and c by, how we got this. This also we'll see now. So, okay. I think this much is okay with you, right? So, okay. Just wait. So what is the meaning of the roots? I will explain you. Like for example, we have a simple equation x square minus 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. Right? You must have learned the methods of solving this equation. There is the formula method and there is a process called as splitting method called as splitting the middle term. Right? So both can be used to solve this equation. You can solve it by any methods. Like if you want to factorize it, we can factorize by splitting the middle term also. So x into x minus 3 minus 1 into x minus 3 equal to 0. So x minus 3 into x minus 1 equal to 0. So values of x are what? So values of x are 3 and 1. So these 3 and 1 are what? They are called as the roots. So roots are the two numbers which will satisfy this equation. And as we know, it's a polynomial of degree 2. It can have only 2 roots. Maximum 2 roots only. Right? Not more than 2 roots. So these are the two numbers 3 and 1 which are called as the roots. Roots means the numbers which will satisfy this equation. Satisfying means what? If you put x value 3 here in x square minus 4x plus 3, if you put x equal to 3, then you get 3 square minus 4 into 3 plus 3, and that you can see that is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0. And similarly, when you put x value 1, then again the same thing, you will get 0 is equal to 0. So these are the two numbers 3 and 1 which are called as the roots. So roots means the numbers which will satisfy this equation, which I will put, and you'll get the answer 0. And there can only be 2 roots, not more than 2 roots for a quadratic equation, right? So this is the meaning of the roots. Now we will see how we got this alpha plus beta value and alpha into beta value. Okay, so we know that for this quadratic ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, the values of x are what? You know this formula, minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac by 2a, right? How we got this formula? We will see the proof also in the further up of a class. But these are the two values of x. So the previous equation which we solved, x square minus 4x plus 3 is equal to 0, that can be solved by the formula also. With the same formula we can find the values of x and 3, x value 3 and 1 which we got. By splitting the middle term, same thing we can get from by the help of formula also. So if you see minus b plus b square minus 4ac by 2a, that is one of the roots, and minus b square minus 4ac by 2a, that is the second root. So these are the two roots which we can call as alpha and beta. Any one you can call it alpha, any one you can call it as beta. And if you add both of them, the sum of the roots, if you add them, then you can add them. If you add them, then you know that LCM will be 2a. So when you add them, root of b square minus 4ac cancels out, and minus b becomes minus 2b. So that becomes minus b by a, right? So that's how we got the value of sum of the roots equal to minus b by a. And same, if you multiply both of them, then you get the value c by a also. Okay, let's see. Once I will show you. You must be knowing, but still it will be a revision if you see it once how we got it. So these two, okay, so multiply them. So denominator becomes 4a square, right? 2a into 2a, 4a square. In the numerator, when you want to multiply, we can use the formula a plus b into a minus b, that is a square minus b square, which means minus b square is b square and minus square of this is what? B square minus 4ac. So you can see b square cancel out, what remains? 4ac by 4a square. So we remains 4ac by 4a square, and that is what equal to c by a. Because 4a cancels out, we remain c by a. So that is the value of the product of the roots. So there is an advantage of these two formulas. These two formulas are very, very important formulas from JEE point of view, and questions have come based on this. How to use? We will see now which are those types of questions in JEE which comes and where these two formulas are used, alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. And then I will explain you also what is the use of alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so like for example, let us take a simple question. Based on that question, I will illustrate it. Okay, or directly also we can do, not a problem. Okay, let's take a small question. Like for example, if the question says that alpha comma beta are roots of some equation, might be like x square plus 3x plus might be something like might be like 12 is equal to 0. Okay, let's see. Okay, alpha beta are the roots of this. Now what kind of questions comes in JEE? What kind of question do they ask? Like they might ask the value of, find the value of alpha square plus beta square. Find the value of this alpha square plus beta square. Now how to find? Now there are two ways. One way is you can find the value of alpha and beta. You can find the roots. Find the roots and then you can square them and then you can add them. But there is a problem in this. Problem in this method is what? If you find the roots, then sometimes the roots are irrational. Okay, then irrational roots squaring will take time. Squaring you can do, might be, but if the question comes cubing, I'll find the value of alpha cube plus beta cube or alpha 4 plus beta 4, then what happens? Then difficulty. Because if the roots are irrational, or if the roots are irrational or imaginary roots, then squaring them or cubing them will take a lot of time also, calculations increases. Therefore this method is not so much recommended. You find the roots and then we do squaring or cubing, whatever the questions ask, because sometimes the question will give you some kind of very complicated expression where roots finding, if they're integer roots then okay, but if the roots are irrational and that too very big values, big numbers, then calculation become very difficult. There is an easy method for this. What? We will use the help of value of alpha plus beta. So alpha plus beta is what? Minus 3, right? Now because b value is 3 and what is alpha into beta value? That is 12. So with the help of these two equations, the value with the help of alpha plus beta value and alpha into beta value, we will find the value of alpha square plus beta square, and this formula I will write it down. You are supposed to memorize it. It's a very important formula. What is the formula? Alpha square plus beta square we try to write in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. So you know, if you do the squaring of alpha plus beta square is what? Alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta, right? So what is the value of alpha square plus beta square? From that formula, that is alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta, right? So alpha square plus beta square we wrote in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. And you can put the values, find the answer. Like minus 3 square is 9 and 2 into 12 is 24, that comes to minus 15, right? So that's the value. So that's very simple, but it's a very easy method. Finding roots, squaring or cubing will take a lot of time, right? That's a very easy method. This formula you're supposed to memorize it. It's a very commonly used formula in case of quadratic. Alpha square plus beta square, and that is also called as inverse. Inverse, if we want to say, this is called as a sum of, we are doing sum of what? We are doing sum of the squares of the roots. We have done the squaring of the roots and doing addition of them. So this is also called as, in some questions you will see they will write as sum of the squares of the roots to find it out. Okay, so that's our first thing, alpha square plus beta square, and I will write few more expressions which are quite commonly used. Okay, like one of them we wrote alpha square plus beta square, and formula also we wrote. Other term quite commonly used is from similar to this is, although lot of expressions can be made, but we are adding only some commonly used. Like second one is alpha cube plus beta cube. Now again, in the previous question it was alpha square plus beta square. So how we thought about? We thought that alpha plus beta square if you do, then we get a term of alpha square plus beta square. Now how do we get alpha cube plus beta cube? In the same way, if you do alpha plus beta whole cube, then you get a term of alpha cube plus beta cube. So you know alpha cube plus beta cube will come out to be what? If you know the formula for alpha plus beta whole cube, you can write it down. Alpha plus beta whole cube is alpha cube plus beta cube plus 3 alpha beta into alpha plus beta. So what is the value of alpha cube plus beta cube from that formula? That is alpha plus beta whole cube minus 3 alpha beta into alpha plus beta. Space is less, so I'm writing like this. Sorry for that. Okay. So now you can put the values. This whole formula of alpha cube plus beta cube has come in the form of alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. Nothing else is there. Simply put the values. Minus 3 cube minus 27. Now alpha beta minus 3, 9 into 12. This you can find 108 minus 27. So 108 minus 27. 108 minus 27 is how much? So I think it comes out to be 81. Right, 81 is the answer. 81. Right. So that's our second formula of alpha cube plus beta cube, which we can also call as sum of the cube of the roots. We have done the summation of what? Cubing of the roots. We have done the cubing of the roots and then summation, sum of the cube of the roots. Another way of saying alpha cube plus beta cube. Got it or not? So this formula also will be used. Another very commonly used expression, or you can see the formula, which we are going to now, I'm going to write it down, is this formula. And that formula is what? That formula is alpha 4 plus beta 4. That is quite commonly used in our JEE mains also. Questions have come in JEE mains based on this, so that is an important formula. So again, similar to the first formula which I wrote, alpha square plus beta square. Alpha square plus beta square formula was what? It was alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta. Right now, so here alpha 4 plus beta 4. In the same formula of alpha square plus beta square formula, you can replace alpha with alpha square, beta with beta square. That is one of the ways. Another way is what? You can think which formula will you use, in which formula alpha 4 plus beta 4 comes. So if you do the squaring of alpha square plus beta square, then you get a term of alpha 4 plus beta 4. So therefore, one method I told you, you can do in the same formula, the first formula of alpha square plus beta square, you can replace alpha with alpha square, beta with beta square. So if you do replacement, then alpha 4 plus beta 4 comes out to be what? Our previous formula was for alpha square plus beta square was alpha plus beta whole square. So here it will become alpha square plus beta square whole square, and here was 2 alpha beta. So this will become 2 alpha square beta square, because alpha I am replacing with alpha square, beta with beta square. And if you are confused with this, then you can do squaring of this alpha square plus beta square whole square. Use the formula of a plus b whole square. Then again we get a term of alpha 4 plus beta 4. Got it or not? So this formula can be used. Now to find the value of alpha 4 plus beta 4, we need to find the value of alpha square plus beta square separately, and that we have already discussed in the first part. That we are not discussing again. You have to find the value of alpha square plus beta square first separately with the help of alpha plus alpha beta, right? And then you can find the value of alpha 4 plus beta 4. Alpha square beta square is what? Basically alpha into beta whole square, which means 12 whole square. So that value you can find on your own, and that is our third formula. And one more formula I will write, that is much more common formula than all these formulas. That is also very important. These are also important formulas. One more formula is there, that is also very important formula, which you can please note it down. That is much more important because that will be used in many other chapters also, because alpha square or beta square is easy to memorize also, right? Now, because this is not something new, but now this formula is totally new for you. That is called as difference of roots. Okay, because it's a difference of roots, so not writing only alpha minus beta or beta minus alpha, because the difference of roots can mean alpha minus beta, beta minus alpha. I am specifically writing mod of alpha minus beta. Okay, modulus of alpha minus beta, that is our difference of roots, right? How do you get now you can remember from your previous classes that mod of alpha minus beta is what? Alpha minus beta whole square. That's the first thing, right? Now that is the formula which you learned. Under root mod x is what? Under root of x square, right? Now what is alpha minus beta whole square? That is alpha square beta square minus 2 alpha beta. You got this? Now we are supposed to find the value of difference of the roots, but we have to write everything in terms of what? Alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. So therefore alpha beta is here, but alpha square plus beta square we are supposed to convert into alpha plus beta form and alpha into beta form, and that formula we have already discussed. Alpha square plus beta square is what? Alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta. So minus 2 alpha beta minus 2 alpha beta becomes minus 4 alpha beta. Okay, this formula you can remember. It's an important formula, and this formula I am a little bit more simplifying in terms of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Important formula. So you can find the value directly also. Alpha plus beta value we have minus 3, alpha beta value 12. Put the values, get the answer. Got it or not? But I am again deriving one more formula for difference of root. That is an important formula that is supposed to memorize from here only. So what I am doing, I am rubbing this thing now above what I am rubbing now. Okay. So okay, which means I am deriving the formula in terms of, I am assuming the quadratic equation to be ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Then what we will get, that alpha plus beta value is what? Minus b by a. So this will become b square by a square minus 4c by a. This I am simplifying, take LCM. You will be getting b square minus 4ac by a square. So this can be, now you know from your previous classes also, from your 10th class, again we will discuss more in detail about this, that b square minus 4ac is called as a discriminant. Right now if you don't remember, no problem, we will explain in the further classes, but for a time being you must be remembering that b square minus 4 is called as a discriminant, which we denote by capital D. You must be remembering. If you don't remember, then you're supposed to memorize. And you know under root of a square is what? Modulus of a. So this formula is an important formula. Okay, root d by mod a. Root d by mod is a formula for the difference of the roots. You're supposed to memorize. One formula I told you ki alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta. That formula not difficult. That formula you can easily derive it, because I told you the derivation also, but you're supposed to remember. But this formula is much more important. Root d by mod a. That formula okay, but this formula you remember it. Root d by mod a very apply. Okay, previous formula you can forget, no problem. Root d by mod a you're supposed to remember. Okay, got it. And you should also know how we got that formula. This formula we're getting from where? This formula we're getting from the formula ki root of mod x is what? Root of x square. From there only we have derived the formula for this, and that's a very important formula used in many of the chapters. Will come out. It will come. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's discuss some questions which have come in JEE. One or two questions which have come in JEE based on this. What kind of questions? Which means they can give in the exams. So I will continue with our previous equation only, that x square plus 3x plus 12 is equal to 0. We solve the 4 parts. Fifth part we can see. Our equation was x square plus 3x plus 12 is equal to 0, where alpha plus beta value was minus 3, alpha into beta value 12. Now suppose a question comes out to be, let's take a simple question. If the answer is a value of alpha square by beta, beta square by anything they can write. So whatever comes, you're supposed to somehow convert them into the form of alpha plus beta, alpha into beta. How to write it down? Now you can take the LCM, of course. How to convert into form of alpha plus beta, alpha into beta? Take LCM. If you take LCM, you will get alpha cube plus beta cube upon alpha into beta. Now I think it's not a difficult question. Alpha cube plus beta cube, you already find it out. Now we can find it out. The value for this. Alpha plus beta whole cube minus 3 alpha beta into alpha plus beta. That's the value for. Then we get the answer. So you can do it one question. Okay. Alpha plus beta whole cube, which means minus 3 whole cube minus 27 minus 3 alpha beta. So minus 3 alpha beta into alpha plus beta. So I think this we found right now. This was 81. So 81 upon alpha beta is 12. So this comes out to be 27 by 4. That's the value for alpha square by beta plus beta square by alpha. So this kind of expressions they can write any expression there if they write if it requires LCM, take LCM and simplify and try to find the answer. And try to write everything in terms of alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. Okay, because that makes the question easier. Right or not? Okay, going ahead. So one more question, okay, one a different question let's discuss. A different type of question, little bit similar to this one, but one more question we will discuss. And that is what a very simple question ki P comma Q belongs to R comma and P plus Q is 3 and suppose P4 plus Q4 is 369. So find the value of 1 by P plus 1 by Q power minus 2. That's the question. Ki sum of the two numbers is given as 3 and they given the value of P4 plus Q4. Now wherever P4 plus Q4 comes or alpha 4 plus beta 4 comes, we are supposed to remember the formula of alpha 4 plus beta 4. Okay. So as we remember to find the value of alpha 4 plus beta 4 we need alpha square plus beta square. So we will first find the value of P square plus Q square, but we don't have the value of P into Q also. So what we will do? Okay, so P4 plus Q4 is what? P4 plus Q4 is P square plus Q square whole square minus 2P square Q square. That is our 369. And what is P square plus Q square? Our P square plus Q square is what? P plus Q whole square, that is 9 because P plus Q is 3 minus 2PQ minus 2PQ. So what we will do now? Now we will put the value of A. Now what we can do? P square plus, we can assume P into Q as T. So this will become 9 minus 2T. And so this equation will become then 9 minus 2T whole square and minus 2T square is equal to 369. By that what will happen? We will get the value of P into Q. And what we are supposed to find? We are supposed to find the value of 1 by P plus 1 by Q power minus 2. If you take LCM of this, you will get P plus Q upon P into Q. So P plus Q value we are having, so we are only need to find the value of P into Q. That's what we are trying to find from here. Okay, so P plus Q is 3. Once we get the value of P into Q, we can put it here and then we can find the value of P into Q. So this you can solve now very easily. You get the value of P into Q. Okay, let's do it fast. I'm grabbing this part and then we'll find the value of P into Q from here. We'll get a quadratic, we'll solve it. Right? So if you do squaring, you will get a term of 4t square minus 2t square is 2t square. And we get a term of minus 36t and plus 81. And 81 minus 369 we are supposed to do. 81 minus 369. So I think we'll get the value, I think 288. Right now, and again 2 we can cancel, so t square minus 18t minus 144 is 0. So what we can do, we are supposed to factorize this now. Okay, so roots we can find now of this equation either by splitting or okay, we can use the formula to find the value. So 18 plus minus b square plus this is 576 okay, upon 2. So 324 plus 576 comes out to be how much? 900. So root becomes 30. So 18 plus minus 30 by 2. Right now. So that is our two values we will get now of P into Q, and one of them we will be using. Let's see which one to use. Right. So 18 plus 30 is 48. 48 by 2 is how much? 24. That is one answer. And 18 minus 30 is minus 12. Minus 12 by 2 is minus 6. So where we got two values. P into Q as 24. P into Q as minus 6. And we also know which value to take. They are asking the value of 1 by P plus 1 by Q power minus 2. And it is a J question. There is a single answer. So what we are supposed to do then? So then we need to check which of the options will be the possibility, which is the right answer. So we have the value of, I think P plus Q was given as 3 right now. So you can try to see if you take P value, you can solve the equations. P plus Q equal to 3, PQ equals to 24. I think one of them will give the you will means if you use one of their values, one of them will give the answer. By using one of them you will get the value of P and Q. If you find the value of P from here, then 3 minus Q into Q is 24. So you can solve this. It becomes Q square minus 3Q plus 24. So here you can see the discriminant of this is negative, which means Q value is not a real number. You won't get a real number from here. Therefore, this can't be the answer. Therefore, we can't take the value of P into Q as 24. So we are supposed to take the value of P into Q as minus 6. Okay. So P into Q is minus 6 and P plus Q is 24. Sorry, P plus Q is 3. We are supposed to find the value of 1 by P plus 1 by Q. So if you take LCM, so P plus Q by PQ power minus 2. So what is P plus Q? 3. P into Q is minus 6. It will become minus 1 by 2. So minus 1 by 2 power minus 2. So that will become minus 2 square and that becomes 4. So 4 is the answer. Right now, power negative, you want to make it positive, reverse it. So 4 is the answer for this question. Right or no? So that's our one of the topics on quadratic equation. That is an important JE also. So that's it for today, students. We will discuss more in the further classes. Thank you very much. Thank you.